Welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. I'm your host, Glen Alexander, joined by my co-host here, Trey Florence. We are recording this on Monday, the night of the national championship game, and talking about several different topics here. First, Oklahoma State's late night W in Stillwater over Kansas State Wildcats. Guy Gundy does what again? The first time he's speaking out is when and how? Well, it's tonight, but you'll hear it tomorrow. Transfer portal news, 2017 TCU, the team we cannot beat in 8 years. Let's not make it 9. And more on the 5 stars and a listener-submitted trivia question.
The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Glen Alexander.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters most. Hello and welcome back to the latest episode of the CJ Tour podcast. Trey, how is it going here on Monday night?
Oh, a little stressful game that we're going to be eventually talking about. But you know what? We're here. We're doing great. Here we go.
Shout out to the Cowgirls here. That was not in the rundown, but they beat 19th ranked Iowa State at home yesterday. Rolled over them.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even close. I mean,
Iowa State's falling apart really fast. I'm not going to lie. They were hyped up to be number one, and they are slowly falling apart, which is kind of sad, but also, you know what? Go Pokes.
Iowa State's Addie Crooks, I think, leads the nation in points per game, but yesterday took a huge hit to that points per game mark, at least, because Oklahoma State and Leah Giardi came back from injury. So it's a great win for the Cowgirls there. But first, we're going to talk about Oklahoma State basketball here, the 84-83 win. Woo. Late night, 9 p.m. tip-off, CBS Sports Network. Make sure you were drinking a Red Bull at 8 o'clock tonight because you had to stay up for it. Dane Holgerson would be at least drinking a Red Bull if he had to. So, it was, let me say this. Great win, great going down the stretch. Victorious Miller was 0 from the field for the whole game and then decided to just come alive in the last 2 minutes.
Right.
And then we got a little bit of fortunate stuff there from K-State, just not be able to close it out either when they should have.
Sure.
But you know what? That was a game I'll remember for a little bit. And I wish I had made the trip. I wish my wife had a holiday party, in all honesty, so was going to that. But Trey, what'd you think of the game?
One, I'm glad that the students showed up because at least every single time that they pan to the student section, I know it's a 9 p.m. tip-off, but it looked pretty crowded. Now, granted, I don't love the fact that they have the curtains down at the back of the field goals. That sections are blocked off. I'm a little sad about that, but I get it. Now it looks full. So I do love that. So considering it was a 9 p.m. tip-off, I know we've had later games, technically. I think it was the Northwestern game that was later, but it was a good game. A little concerning on my part. I'm going to give overall, if I had grade the game, I'm going to give it a B-, because Kansas State is technically the worst team in the Big 12 right now, and we barely won towards the end, and we're on home court. So I was I don't know if it was just because of the TV deal doing the late night or what the heck happened there. It just, once again, I don't know what happened to good old my man that I love to say, Coleman. Coleman, what is happening? He's not doing what he used to do, if that makes sense. I know that we're distributing the ball more, and I feel like Coleman's just taking a seat back now, at least the last 2 games that I've noticed.
Oh, a win's a win.
Yes, a win's a win.
With you, I'm not going to complain about it, but I am curious what's going on with Christian Coleman here a little bit, just because really like watching him play here. And he's one of those guys to me that the flow of the game can either run through him or away from him, and it's kind of running away from him a little bit in his play style. But he puts on 30 minutes. We hold K-State to just really, they just fouled us a bunch. I don't know if that was necessarily that's not for the game plan, but I don't know if that was necessarily our game plan. Hey, let's get downhill. They're 0-4 in conference, coming to the game, 0-5 post game. Let's see what we can do. this is a Kansas State team that with Jerome Tang, I thought a couple years back, of course, hey, they're going to be good for a while. They've got one of these Big 12 coaches that you fear, that you go, whoa, what's going on? And also they're here. That's multiple years ago now. Before Steve Lutz, of course, and that's Mike Boynton era. When it's, man, maybe we can knock off K-State here or there because they seem to be back. And now it seems like it's just not working out. A lot of the fellow college huddle guys, that the network that we're a part of here, just a shout out real quick. The Cocaine Willie podcast does a frequent like, hey, what's going on with Jerome Tang? I mean, just really what is going on with him. And we're fortunate to say on a night where we were 45% from the field, 33% from three, and K-State was 56% from the field and 44% from three, we still won. I mean, that's a tremendous part.
Yeah.
We took 12 more shots on the night.
12 less threes, probably what you're going.
No,
for.
we took 10 less threes on the night, but we put up 12 more shots from the field from two. So it just is a very balanced game overall. With I agree with you. What's going on with Christian Coleman? But on a night where we have 9 guys see the court,
yeah.
Incredible deal. And 8 guys get at least 14 minutes, also kind of an incredible win, gotta say. So I'm loving the pokes here. Anthony Roy fell all the way back down to earth from 3 and was 3 of 9. Parsifala there hitting I think a 3 now in 5 straight, which is the most he's ever had in a season. He's now gotten 5 games in a row. I hit 2, of course, and then Kanye Clary really just put up the offensive rating, and Parsifal, of course, put up the rating. It just seems like Fala is always consistent.
It's very consistent.
That's it.
It's very nice to see at least somebody being consistent right now, because I know that's been our trouble throughout the season, and I know Fala's even been having issues being consistent. So at least the past 3 games, like the Tech game, Iowa State, Baylor, yeah. He's at least been putting up decent amount of time and also just decent amount of points as well. At least been averaging roughly about 20 points, at least in that small span of games, which is great. Awesome. It's what we need. But what really kind of saved us was a lot of those turnovers and then just the foul trouble that Kansas State was in. I'm sure that hurt immensely towards the end. Obviously, we got those free throws at the end of the game, which helped us, but there's a lot to be said and a lot that we need to learn from this game. And of course the previous game against Baylor, because I know every game is going to be a challenge in the Big 12, and it's not the greatest thing to see us struggling against the bottom half of the Big 12, because Baylor's only win in the conference is us right now. Granted, I know they've had a horrible start of the season. They've had pretty tough opponents to start off with. Iowa State, Houston, us, Kansas, TCU, like they're pretty rough for them. So I get that, but I'm a little hesitant. Like my optimism is starting to go a little bit lower. Like, yeah, I know we started off great with a great season, going 11-0 or something like that. And now it's starting to taper off. Like even, ESPN has already shocking to nobody. They've already got a bracket prediction, and we're not anywhere close on that, which is kind of disappointing because, how we were talking about, we would be at least an 8th seed or something like that. But as of right now, we're not projected to make it into the tournament, which would be very disappointing, especially since Oklahoma City is hosting the tournament this year.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? If we could get in the tournament and be, one of the games at Oklahoma City, that'd be incredible. But yeah, our projected record by Ken Palm is 18-13. We're 6-12, projected in conference here. It doesn't mean we win a bunch of them the rest down the way. It means I think we're projected to win 2 more games here, 3 more games by Ken Palm. I mean, it's like Utah at home, it's TCU at home, and then it's West Virginia at home. And those are the last 3 projected wins. But then again, we play a lot of really good teams here down the stretch. I mean, Colorado, if that was a home game, I think we'd win it. It's really looking more like a toss-up here more and more. Arizona State, more of a toss-up. I know they knocked off Arizona not too long ago, but still, BYU won. It's a home game. It also is a little bit more chance inflated, but the Arizona one later on that week is definitely a loss. So
Yep.
I'm really hopeful for hoops. That's
Yep.
what I'd say. I think we can get better, but also on a night where we're not shooting well, we do create 8 more turnovers than Kansas State has, and that's the name of the game. Like, they out-rebounded us. They fouled us a lot more,
Right.
and we got the ball a lot more from turnovers. We had more attempts, like trips down the court, period. Not shot attempts overall, granted, but it's nice to see on a night like this.
Great
all right,
free throw shooting, that's for sure. That's what saved us.
Yeah.
That 20 out of 24, that's pretty good for a night, you know?
Yeah, it really is. And Kansas State's got to be going, we shot 5 free throws the whole game. They shot 24. I mean, they literally stole it from us. That's the whole game, in all honesty. So, in case you missed that part of it, Gundy has chosen to come out publicly. And he's come out. He's going to be on national football broadcast tonight. We are recording this literally right before the game kicks off, if not when the game kicks off. So, this we put out after you've heard Gundy talk. But when your first thought is, hey, a guy who's been a head coach of a school longer than half of my lifetime, easily, is the first public appearance he's going to do is not like, hey, appreciate all my time with Oklahoma State, et cetera, get out to Big 12 basketball games this year, kind of like a message to students and fans, all type of stuff, encourage Oklahoma State support during the new coach or anything. And instead, it's going to be in the coach's film room. One, I'm not going to go into a bunch of speculation about what this is, because by the time you've listened to this podcast, it's already come and gone. But I am right that it's kind of a weird first, like...
Right. It is very weird. I know technically, yes, he's had like a short social media where he kind of supported OSU in some way. I remember him.
Oh, the hockey team.
Yeah, the hockey team.
On Cameo. Yeah.
Cameo,
the Cameo appearance of him going, let's go Cowboys. I'm a real good hockey fan. Okay. All right.
That's like the only thing that we've truly seen. And to him to go to like the national championship and like be in the coaches room, which is weird because I don't know, is he trying to go TV? I mean, he would make great TV. He has the moment, I'm a man, I'm 40. It's like one of the top 20 college, ESPN moments that have been out there. And it was on the scale, like, I don't know, a few years ago I saw, but that is such an iconic moment. And he will tell you how it is, which is the funny thing about him. So I'm sure that's why they wanted him, just for that viewership. But it is a very odd, strange moment because I feel like he didn't really want the spotlight.
Yeah, and I'm just so curious as to like why he's returning. Do you know when he was on the last? I mean, it's his third time doing the coach's film room. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the last time he was doing it?
Couldn't tell you. It's been so long.
2020, so right after the 2019 season.
Right.
Alongside Gary Patterson, Pat Narduzzi, and Derek Mason, who later on Gundy hired as defensive coordinator a few years after. And then also he did it for the 2018 national title game after the 2017 season. We all watched Alabama beat Georgia in OT. He watched the game alongside Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M coach at the time, and others. So he'd be great on TV.
Oh, yeah.
He's been great. He's been great on TV doing these. I mean, Cade McFarland has a tweet back in 2018 of it. If you want to go watch it. I mean, he's, on Marshall Scott Pistol's firing blog, put out some information. That's where I'm pulling it from. But got to give him the shout out, credit where it's due. Of course. Thanks for sourcing all that, Marshall. I just think it's odd.
Oh, yeah. Very odd.
I think there's got to be some annoyance or hatred or dislike or just disgust in how this all turned out recently. So Gavin Gundy put out a lot of stuff after Gundy was fired, saying like he is OSU. Whether he is or not, I do know there's two things. Whenever I have worked in Detroit for the Pistons, in Los Angeles for the Chargers, in Los Angeles for the Rams, in Alabama for the USFL and the Birmingham Stallions, and in San Diego for the San Diego Padres, amongst all those teams and places, And when I've traveled to Los Angeles, the National Sports Forum, and talked to people from Oklahoma City Thunder and so many other organizations, including, of course, the reigning world champion Philadelphia Eagles, they know Oklahoma State for one thing. Mm-hmm. It is Mike Gundy. Yep. Like, it is, I'm 40. So for him to say is the face of the program, okay, you know what? Fair enough. Working at Oklahoma State now. Like, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird when Gundy got fired. There's speculation. There are plenty of people around campus who are just striking up conversations about Gundy. And okay, now practice is a little bit interesting and so on. Listen, Eric Morris, I have no doubt will be a good head coach. For sure. Whether he'll be a great head coach or an amazing head coach or championship head coach, etc., TBD. But I think I know he'll be a great head coach because he's bringing all this excitement and positivity and money and stuff in the system. It'd be such a weird cataclysmic failure that not to work out in at least a little bit that he's going to be a great head coach. Like, the bar is set very low. You have very low win, right? So I can't think he won't be a great head coach because he'll just have such an easy time rebounding. But Gundy leaving, and then I think it's Gunner Gundy put out on Instagram, hey, I'm selling all my OSU apparel.
Right.
And people were making a big deal out of that. But like, does that anything to you? Like, to me, that's nothing. To me, I mean, it's like, hey, you know what? I used to work for whoever, I used to go to school, wherever. Like, you know what? If Kate Cunningham had not been signed by the Detroit Pistons, literally as I'm like changing jobs, I would not care about the Pistons.
Right.
I would not. I mean, honestly, I would care about a lot of the coworkers there and stuff like that. But like, I have no real attachment to this, to the Los Angeles Rams, even though I worked for them for a hot minute.
Right.
I have a Rams hat still, I think. But like, to me, this is like, yeah, I worked there. Maybe I don't have the fondest memories. I'm going to sell all my OSU stuff. Not I hate Oklahoma State and everything they did because of my dad, and my time there is scour because my dad got fired mid-season. I also think there's just some stuff we don't know about, to be honest. I think the way that the Gundy got fired and went down is the way and what I understand is that Gundy was given the option to coach out the rest of the season, but have to take a buyout of some sort, not get the full payout, or leave right there and get the whole payout. And he said,
neither.
He said, I'm going to take the full payout and leave now. Leave all my, leave now. Regardless if any of that's true or not. I mean, that's all like reporting. That's not Mike Gundy coming out and saying that. That's not Chad Weiber coming out and saying that directly to the press or media or to fans or whoever. It's just kind of the understanding we all have about it. And Gundy not to say anything about it is weird, but is there anything more to this than it just being odd and an awkward situation where in 2 to 3 years from now it'll be the Mike Gundy retirement Ring of Honor game?
Right.
Like that's
he's gonna definitely be in the Ring of Honor. We know that. It's kind of like it's the first few weeks, months of being without your ex. If you had an ex, you don't know how the situation is. You're kind of jealous of what they're doing. You're always trying to stalk them, that type of stuff. You're checking on their kids and everything like that. So that's what I feel like was happening right now. Give it about a year or two, and I'm sure we'll be fine. Obviously, he's got to go up in the Ring of Honor. I don't know when they're going to put him up there, but he's definitely going up there because he's, been one of the elite quarterbacks for OSU, so I'm sure it's going to happen. Now, will they also put him up for being a head coach or just strictly being a player? That's going to be the next interesting thing. But I feel like he's done great for the organization. He never said anything bad whenever he left. It was kind of like pretty hush-hush on both sides. It's just kind of like just shocking moment that it happened right after Tulsa. But, he has been, I mean, you've been to a place, you've worked for a place for like 20 years. You probably have some, animosity about it, but it's just right now we're all just trying to cope with, the breakup. And so I'm sure it's going to be great after a while. He'll probably be welcomed back, on the field, and everybody will still give him applause and everything like that, unless he goes and works for OU. That's the only thing I could see that would not cause that, but I don't think he would ever do that. So as of right now, I feel fine with Gundy. I know some people are going to hate him. Some people are going to still love him. I'm just like, let the man do his thing. He did a lot for OSU. He definitely turned the program around, and it was going up. Now he just couldn't manage to do the portal, which, to be honest with you, it's very rare for many coaches to handle the portal right now. So that's just my say on that.
Well, I don't think he wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that embracing the new generation of college football was something that Gundy was wanting to do because it wasn't his MO. Like, his MO was not, hey, I'm going to go through where we're basically through a relegation system of this,
Right.
where the better a guy is, the harder it is to keep him in-house, but I'm going to spend all the resources on growing him. Now, I know I'm whatever cattle calling myself black here because legitimately I'm wearing black, but also like Oklahoma State just did this to UNT. Like I'm fully aware how it sounds and what I'm saying, but Gundy is the 5th leader overall in passing yards Oklahoma State history. The next 3 guys are all from either actually the rest of the list here is either 2000 or newer on the list, and Tone Jones. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly here. I should, but he was from 93, 96. He basically started 41 games. I mean, the rest of the guys here started 30 or under on the list besides Gundy. And Gundy's, he's 5th leader in passer Oklahoma State history.
And
For
Gundy
Zach Robinson.
taught all of them, that's above him.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I was going to say. Gundy coached 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Right.
One's Rudolph. Spencer Sanders is 2. Brandon Whedon's 3. And Zach Robinson's 4. Oddly enough, here just to throw out, Alan Bowman 7th for 25 games, so he was lighting it up through the air for a while, even in some really bad seasons. But even in that bad season, 2024, but 2023, of course, killing it for a little bit. But that BYU game, anyways. I'm just I'm curious. I'm curious if there'll be any comments towards Gundy deny. I'm curious if there'll be any, if this is kind of the way that we. You're kind of just barely cracking the door open. No one's wedging their foot in. You're kind of open on your own here and get back out there a little bit. And it's odd to me that guys who've been at the universities for less amount of time, less than some of these guys, less than 5 years of their life. And Gundy, it's been 2/3 of his life has been spent around Oklahoma State. Seems a little odd, but you know what? We'll see how it all turns out. And fingers crossed here, we get a Gundy family member to come on the podcast before too long. So I will say, I was tipped off. Hey, Gundy's going to make his appearance next week. I can't come on the podcast just yet. See if we can get a Gundy family member or himself on the podcast. Who knows? So anyways, transfer portal talk here, Trey. Of course, it's been good. We're all excited about the transfer portal, right? We still got the transfer portal tracker up by Marshall Scott at pistolsfiringblog.com. But yeah,
we're still number 1 or 2 on there. Last time I looked, it was 1.
We've dropped a little bit. Not gonna lie. We are now 247 has us now at 6th overall. So it's just not fantastic, I would say, but like
I'll take a 6 over what we had last year.
Yeah, I will for sure take a 6 over what we had last year. Listen, I would love to see us be doing a little bit better here, of course, but like it is what it is.
The people that are ahead of us, LSU, that makes sense because you just had a new head coach. Ole Miss finally got to do something because they're out of the playoffs. The one that surprised me was the Ohio State when they came out of nowhere. But just looking at this looks really great. And also like we have a lot more recruits than everybody else. Now I know. So that's also the other thing too, which I think is also just phenomenal of just like how many 53 compare, like we're basically double like Ole Miss. And I know, granted, Ole Miss didn't have that much time, but Texas Tech only has 20. So like we're double everybody. So obviously we're having a brand spanking new team, which, makes sense with everything that happened with us. But I think it's just because a lot of the North Texas recruits are still considered a 3-star, and we didn't get as many 4 and 5 stars, which is what is pushing the points up for everybody. But hey, what OSU is known for, and what it's always been known for, is taking 2-3-star recruits and making them 4 or 5-star recruits. So I'm happy with that list right now.
I am as well. And to be honest, we're not Lane Kiffin. We're not LSU.
Right.
Like I would love to say we are. We have not won a national championship in the past 6 years now. And we don't have a bunch of guys playing in the NFL, honestly. But I think we can get back up there pretty quickly when you have a 6th team overall in the portal. Now there's 41 3-stars. Like, that is an absurd amount of guys.
A lot.
So 41 of them are 3-stars. Great sign there. And yeah, LSU's got a 1-5 and 11 4-stars, and Ole Miss has 8 4-stars. Like, Ole Miss has to replace so much. So do we. So does LSU, because kind of they're doing
Whole
their
debacle there.
So everyone knows. Yeah. But we're up there with the Ohio States, the Indianas, where it's that I want to be grouped in with that name, but still, in Texas of the world, and Penn State, which, you know what, all those schools have in common? A lot of money. And
a lot of money.
4 schools in the top 10 to have a 5-star.
Right.
Like, you've got Tech, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and LSU, each with a 5-star. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Right.
And would I rather have Sam Levitt or Drew Messmaker? Like, that's the only quarterback ranked higher in the transfer portal class this year. I'd rather have Drew Messmaker if he's coming with his head coach.
Yeah.
Like that's just that's what it is. Sam Levitt rumored to have an injury playing basketball and kind of, the rec league, stuff like that during the season that created his injury. Regardless if all that is rumored or not and being true, I'd rather the guy who didn't get injured last year, played every
100%,
snap, and didn't have any issues with his head coach and left under any turmoil. Rather the guy who followed his head coach. So really excited about the transfer portal. All right, well, 2017 is the last time we got good old Jeffrey Carroll here up in I guess over my left shoulder at least. 2017. What a season for Oklahoma State basketball. What do you remember from 2017? Because that's the last time we beat TCU.
So long ago.
That's the last time we beat TCU in Fort Worth. So what's your favorite memory of 2017?
Is that with Cade? I think so.
No,
right? No,
Cade's 20.
No, 20. Wow.
2020, 2021. Yeah.
Man. Oh, man. Man, you're making me feel old all of a sudden.
That's right. We're 32. We're no longer young. I still get confused for a college student every single day of the week when I'm at work, because I'm around my early 30s and work at a desk in Stillwater. But yeah, what's your favorite memory of 2017? Mine is not the Central Michigan loss. Just to be clear, that's not mine. Mine's not my favorite memory of 2017.
Gosh, that was a crazy year. If that was 2017 with Central Michigan, man, is Central Michigan the downfall of the OSU? No, I'm just kidding.
No, definitely not. But
I would like to win back in TCU because it's been forever. But man, after what we've seen the last couple of days, like, yes, I'm glad we won against Kansas State, and what we won against or didn't win against Baylor, we got blown out by Baylor, which was kind of scary. I just don't have the best confidence, going in. It just depends, once again, if our team's healthy and whatnot. Just looking on paper, we should be fine. We should be doing well against them because, on paper, we're 88 points for us and TCU's only scoring about 80. And then, points against, we only allow 80 and TCU only allows 69. So it's just like back and forth there. But, man, it's going to be a road trip. And at least the timing is better this time around. It's at 7 p.m. instead of like a 9 o'clock game. So.
Thank goodness. But I want to ask you, can you remember 3 names from that team, the 2017 team? One's Jeffrey Carroll, so I'll give you that freebie.
Okay.
He's the photo.
Carroll.
Yeah. 2 other guys have been on the podcast. Jeffrey Carroll's been on the podcast. Previous episode. Of course.
Now you got to make me go through checking out everything.
Come on. You know the other 2 guys. You know a lot of this roster. In fact, there's an assistant guy who's currently an assistant coach in the Big 12. Not at Oklahoma State, who's on this roster. There's a guy who currently plays for the Spurs on this roster. There's a guy who, a G Leaguer, a Harvard Business School graduate, and a guy who had a brief stint with the Suns on this roster.
Is this? Let me see if I get this.
You just got to name like more than Jeffrey Carroll.
Okay, Jeffrey Carroll. I may be off by a year. Let's see. Is this Brandon Averett's year, or am I a year ahead?
That is a Brandon Averett, and that was not one of any of the hints, but he was a guard on this team. So I'm assuming you looked it up.
No.
Definitely type something in. Sure. No, I mean,
is it the other Trey that I didn't even remember that he played, but
he is the Harvard Business School graduate. Yeah,
yep.
Harvard Business School graduate.
And Mitch Solomon.
Yeah, you got Solomon. Yeah, this is my 5th year at Oklahoma State. Again, that's 4th media degree, putting in some work there for it. But yeah, the 2018 roster, I think, brings back a bunch of these guys here. Yeah, 2018 roster is definitely the last year. But yeah, it's such a long time ago that I just want to say, like, go beat TCU, please. I mean, it's just how are we here? Like,
right.
Victoria Miller, Anthony Roy, go beat TCU. This one is a 26% chance we win. It's higher than some of our other games coming up here for at least a little bit. I guess minus that Utah game. I mean, we got a better chance of beating TCU on the road than we do Iowa State at home, apparently, which I would believe. And honestly, the game looks like this. Like, TCU has the ball. They're pretty good. When we have the ball, we're pretty good. Both teams are really pushing the ball downfield and really have like the exact same adjusted efficiency with the ball. So
TCU's got a good defense, so that's the other thing.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, all of these, the 3-point percentage were both 35 and 34%.
Right.
You know, I mean, whether we got the ball or the other team has the ball, like, free throw percentage, you know what, we're a little bit better than TCU, which is great, but like, it's all about the same. That's all I'd say here. And TCU is a decent basketball team that has not lost that many games. They just lost to Utah this past weekend, which they're not Kansas State, but they're real bad. So, I mean, they're only one in the Big 12 is over TCU, Utah's. So, listen, this one's definitely winnable in my book, and I think we've got a good chance at it. But KenPom thinks TCU has a 74% chance of winning, so I'm skeptical, to say the least. I'm just very, very hopeful, very excited for this game, because a win like that over the weekend, an energizing, thrilling win, 1 point, getting the fans out, is one you can build on. Oh, yeah. We've been saying this for a little bit here. How long have we been going, man, if Oklahoma State could just get a couple of these in a row, right? We had the win over UCF, by 11. All right, what do we do the next game? We lose by 8 at Iowa State, top team in the country.
Right.
And then we lose to Baylor by a lot. And then we rebound. Baylor was a possible win at home. So
should have been, probably.
That's what sucks, but this is a chance here to play TCU today when you're listening to this and get back in the win column and get another one, but also be at 500 in Big 12 play so far, which would be really good, because this is one of the games we gotta knock off here. We gotta get winning if we want to make that tournament that everyone's so excited about every single year. But no, see if Lutz is still working with just completely a portal class. Next year's the move. No, next year's the prove it year for Lutz. It's 3rd year, bringing in one of the top Big 12 teams in the country. But also that means one of the top teams in the country with multiple guys who are 4 or 5-star recruits. So what's your prediction? Oklahoma State wins, beats TCU?
I would love to say that, but I have this feeling that we're not. I feel like I don't want to say it's going to be like I want to say probably like a 83-80 game. That's what I'm hoping for. But TCU winning, unfortunately, I think. It pains me to say that, because TCU is definitely our competition right now, with like how the standings are right now. Like, yes, I know they're technically 1-4, but they're a very good ball team. And it's just going to put us towards the bottom, and that's not where we want to be. So I would love us to sneak out a win, but I feel like it's going to be like 83-80 TCU.
Fair enough. I will rely upon yours for that one. I feel like it's going to be a win. It's going to be like 82-76 Oklahoma State. We just kind of go away at the end just because.
Free throws, yeah.
Well, you know what? Like, TCU loses to Utah on the road. You'd figure they'd want to come back and get that win. They've got all that going for them. But at the end of the day, think we found a little bit how we got to win. I think maybe get a little bit of buy-in on the defensive stuff, because you know what, for a Calvin's coaching moment here, we do really, really good off of running downward ball screens with Parsifal. Like that gets our shooters wide open. Do I think Anthony Roy's going to go 3 for 9 again from 3? No. I think he's more likely to go 6 of 9 than 3 of 9 this next game. That's a ton more points. Fala, I think, will do about the same. But like we had 20 free throws that we made. We shot 24. That'll come back down to earth too. So like there'll be a little bit more like slanting, moving around and stuff like that.
Probably 15.
TCU and us both love to get out in transition. Both love to have a lot of possessions. You know what? I think that actually helps us out a ton, because we're not that great of a defensive team when they have to bring up matchups into half court sets. Like once we get a bunch of half court sets going,
3 balls.
That's just not. Doesn't take a brain scientist to know, hey, Parsifal is not a huge dude, so he probably is much better in a full court transition, up and down, quick shots, boxing out guys, use a little bit of body positioning and jumping higher than others to get the ball, and some good footwork over back to the basket, draw work, 1-2 drop steps. Like, that just is it. I mean, at the end of the day, if we can play more of the basketball that we want to play, we'll be better off in this game.
100%.
And we'll at least be in it. But also, TCU likes to play in transition. I have not watched a ton of tape on TCU, but I watched the game against Utah, at least the highlights, and I can tell you what, they like to do the same thing. They've got kind of the same roster. They have a lot of big guys, a lot of experience down the stretch. So if we have to all of a sudden get playing in, Vukovic and Ahmed, we're going to run into a little bit of trouble. So Parsifal, stay out of the penalty box. Stay out of the court. I mean, I'm just saying, so.
Now, that would be entertaining if they actually put a penalty box for, college basketball. That would be great.
You just go in there and just, it's like a sauna or something. So it's like a penalty. Like, you're like, I'm already so hot, whatever. Be against like every single health code violation, be a huge issue for guys. But like, I mean, you're one of these players playing the hockey matches, and then all of a sudden you got to go into a sauna. Maybe you don't get in the penalty box. Nope. I don't know. It's just
I would.
But of course, it's like a really bad issue overall. Was like human rights issue at that point. Like, already so hot running up at the court. I want to get into it. I'm just saying, like, that their fourth foul of the game is a pretty big penalty as an end of itself, especially if it's in the second half and with 10 minutes left. So either way, 5-star guys here. The reason why I put this up here is because, of course, we got Tremendous Maker in the portal. Just to kind of bring that back here a little bit, Trey, in case people were not. Yeah, we have a full-on 5 stars guy. We have the quarterback here, who I just think is going to take us, honestly, I think take us to the promised land next year. The promised land being Big 12 championship game.
I would love that.
I am getting very excited about this class. The more and more stuff that I research and that I do and I look for, and I'm like, oh, wait, hang on. So we've got a whole entire like makeshift, depth chart here that is completely new guys, except for a right guard. Okay, some fun stuff can be happening here. So I'm just really excited overall for the football team, football schedule. I think this could be the first of many good years for Oklahoma State football. Like I am, the more tape, the more stuff, and the more of the intrigue and the story. Drew Messmaker, Caleb Hawkins not getting offers to other D1 schools.
Crazy.
Period. Just absurd. Guys in Shawnee. Like, this used to be the MO for Oklahoma State football. So, and hey, I mean, Caleb Hawkins, really, really good player. So OU probably should have been looking too, you would think. So it's not just us. Do you think this season could lead us to seeing unprecedented type of quarterback success? Because to me, I do think so, because of the history of Eric Morris. I do think at some point you go from being the coach who's got a couple of good quarterbacks that you've kind of coached up, that are in the resume on the or on the roster, and then oh yeah, there's a Chandler Morris guy who went to Virginia, he was pretty good, and oh, there's Baker Mayfield who had a spot of coffee. There's Patrick Mahomes, we're theoretically around the same time. There's Cam Ward, of course, at Washington State,
right?
And getting him to play up and good enough so he gets the transfer opportunity. There's just so many different guys' names that we come up with Derek Morris that I think eventually it all kind of goes, oh, wait, so now he's at Oklahoma State. He's only hit every year so far on having good quarterback success of some type. Drew Mestemaker was a 0-star. What if a 4-star went to Oklahoma State?
Yeah,
that type of deal. And I'm talking like 4 or 5-star recruits here. I'm talking like, hey, we get a quarterback who's a 5-star recruit in next year who all of a sudden goes, yeah, I do want to play in the Eric Morris system, even if I'm going to have to sit one more year behind Drew Mestemaker. I don't necessarily want to be a redshirt freshman starting. Right. So let's see what we got here. And I don't think we get that Bryce Underwood $11 million a year guy either. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the guy who comes in who's a redshirt starter either. I'm saying a really highly touted 5-star quarterback recruit that could change the dynamics of Oklahoma State football, where all of a sudden we've got a Lamar Jackson type of guy.
Right.
Josh Allen should have been better scouted, but I think everyone knows what I mean here, right? Like we've got one of those guys in the door that is not a Gunnar Stockton top out where he has to have the defense to win games for Georgia, but instead we've got like a guy who's going to go top 5 in the draft in a couple of years because he's that good of a quarterback. Andrew Luck-esque. I don't know why not. I mean, the type of success Cam Ward is an NFL starting quarterback going into sophomore year without a shadow of a doubt. It's not every day that you're coaching that guy.
Right, exactly. And I do feel like we at least how many years do you think Drew's going to be with us? I know for a fact we got 1 year, right? And technically he has 3 years remaining on his eligibility right now, as long as everything goes perfectly well with him, because everybody can magically pull out another year, I feel like.
Well, last year he was a redshirt freshman starting,
right,
and he signed a 2-year deal with Oklahoma State for $7 million. So I think at least 2 more years.
At least 2? Okay. Do you think he'll be there for a 3rd year?
To be honest, the trajectory we're going right now, we're talking the nation's leading passing in yards, period, for the guy. In his freshman year at UNT, like, if the success goes how I think it's going to go, where we have to win games offensively,
right,
and we seem to have the coach and the players that can help out, we are not just, as the trivia question was last week with you, yeah, there's 17 North Texas transfers, but there's not 11 guys transferring in just for the offense. Like, this is pretty split. This is a makeshift depth chart. Theoretically, there will be 4 to 5 guys from North Texas who will start in our offense next year.
Right.
But not 11.
But it's the core. That's the core, though. So you got your wide receivers and you got your running back, which is,
I'm saying it's a good mix of talent.
It is a very good mix. Yeah.
So I think that talent is only going to hold to be better. And then at the end of the day, we'll be going, okay, hang on a second. Like, Miles Coleman, Terrence Lewis, maybe starting, maybe second team. Wyatt Young and Braden Nelson definitely starting on top of the quarterback, running back, as you already said. So,
right.
I think it'll be a pretty darn good team offensively. Oh, yeah. I think defense will be interesting to say the least, because we seem to have I think, 6 total defensive ends.
Yep.
Who transferred in.
Correct. That's at least what I saw last.
All right. Well, excuse me. We got 5 total defensive ends that transferred in, and we kept Malik Charles. So
technically 6,
because he came out of the transfer portal. So yeah. I'm excited for it. Really, really excited. But I think we're gonna have to score a lot to win.
Oh yeah,
and I think that means that Drew Mestemaker will be good. I think he'll be good or great. I think he'll probably leave after 3 years. I think a total in college football. I don't think he plays all 4 for Oklahoma State.
Okay.
No, honestly, because you know what? The guy is 6'4", 210. Excuse me, he's a redshirt sophomore coming in now. Like,
it makes sense.
If he keeps on the trajectory, he's got the NFL kind of size you want.
Right.
He's not 6'5", 6'6", like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, but he's still pretty big. He's not 5'9" or 6 feet tall or whatever height Kyler Murray is. And he also doesn't have the kind of speed. So to me, like, if all goes according to plan, it'll be in college football 3 years. That's what I'd say.
Okay. What do you think? I feel like it's going to be kind of similar to what Indiana had the last 2 years. You know, they came from nothing, did pretty good, won 10 games, I believe, last year, right? And then didn't do so hot towards the end because they didn't win the championship of the Big 12 and that type of stuff. But then everybody basically kind of stayed there for another year. And then, you know, here they are, you know. We don't know if they won tonight or not. So spoiler alert, we don't know. But I'm not saying that we're going to make it to a national championship, but I can at least see us win a Big 12 championship within the 2 years, as long as everybody stays healthy. And I feel like we still are a little bit struggling on the offensive line, and that's always been kind of like our weak point. Obviously, we have the weapons around him, which will be great, but I feel like if we get a couple more linemen, I feel like that'd be a little bit more helpful. I know that we got quite a few, but like nothing like, I know that we got like at least, I think it was Kansas or Kansas State linemen. So, I mean, like at least we're getting Big 12 people and that type of stuff. But, or I could be thinking that he's a DB. I don't remember anymore at this point. We have 53 of them. It's like amazing. But I do feel like it's going to be a good turnaround. I'm not saying we're going to be just like Indiana, but at least enough where we're, competitive again, which is nice to see. Once again, I'm not a fan of the portal, but if I can use it to our advantage, I will use it.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of good guys coming in. I think our offensive line will be better next year than it was this year. I think listen, if we win one Big 12 game next year, that's not good enough. It's just not, because we already play Oregon and they bring back a college football playoff quarterback. The guy who have come out this year would be. I
thought he was going to be going
if not the number one, in Dante Moore. So next year we've got one heck of an uphill battle for sure.
Yep. It's going to be a better test this time around against Oregon, because last year we got blown out, right? As long as nobody says any stupid comments before that game, I think we're actually going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I do. Without too much, honestly. I think we'll be pretty good for next year. All right. Well, we have like I said to start out the podcast here, we have a listener submitted trivia question, and I did make sure they helped us out here a little bit with it, because I did have to know the answer to put all this together here. So this is addressed to you, Trey. Just
okay. All on me. No pressure.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Okay, sorry. I was so teed up and ready. Let me unmute.
Hi, Trey. Got a difficult one for you.
Oh, boy.
Currently warming up my car because it is -1 degrees here in Minnesota. I want you to think back to the 2013-2014 season, so your sophomore year of college at Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Basketball is your category.
Basketball.
Which player led the team in minutes played per game without leading in assists, points, or rebounds? Go Pokes.
Assists? Oh, my good. Is that the most player? Is that Forte? No. No,
he didn't lead in points, rebounds, or assists.
Didn't lead in points?
But he led in minutes.
He led in minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because no, it wouldn't have been him. It wouldn't have been him. Do I get a hint? Because that was very broad. Is it a power forward?
You're asking me what position the guy plays? That's the hint you want?
Yeah. Well, what hint were you going to give me?
I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking like jersey number or whatever. I wouldn't say he's a power forward, but he's a forward.
Okay. A forward.
You're typing in the background here. What are you looking up? You can't see the trivia question.
I was just at least seeing what the roster was, because I don't even remember everybody.
Okay, all right.
On
Well,
list.
hang on. Do you want multiple choice?
Yes, multiple choice.
Okay. Let me get you multiple choice here. Hang on one second here, everyone. I'm so sorry about this.
We were so prepared.
No, I mean I was prepared. I just thought you'd like shout out like a name or something at least.
Well,
you know,
as soon as he
I
threw
did
out,
not think you were gonna go. I'm not sure how this works. So okay, here's your All right, I'm gonna read off 5 names off this list here, and let me know what you think. Okay. Layden Hammonds, Michael Cobbins, Markel Brown, Marcus Smart, or Phil Forte.
Obviously, it's not those two. Is it Cobbins?
Nope, it is
Hammonds?
Nope.
Oh, man. Who was it then?
It was. One second here.
All right, I'll give you the answer. The guy you're looking for is Markel Brown.
Markel
So if
Brown.
you think about it, Kamari Murphy and LeBron Nash were like defense rebound guys and some points there. And then Phil Forte, Marcus Smart, of course, they had the points and the assist. And then Michael Coppins was pretty much all rebounding. But Markel Brown, tough to go out like that.
I swear Brown
Tough
had
to go
more.
out like that. Indeed.
I swear he had more playing time or more like anything. But I mean, I guess he had to be the leader. But he was still very good. I love Brown. He was very good on that team.
He has the most incredible dunk I've ever seen in Oklahoma State basketball history.
Yes.
Or, like easily, right? Like that.
Right.
He's got I mean he has, when you put in Marco Brown highlights, like there are just 5 million options here.
Dunks.
I got to tell you.
Dunks on
and
dunks on dunks.
It's all pretty much dunks here. Yeah, I mean I just got to say, like, he was such a force in college. It's insane to me.
Thanks, Bo, for the hardest question ever.
You want it? That's the hardest question ever.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
All right, I was gonna say,
You're making me remember.
I mean, we're talking more than a decade ago. I got you. You know, could be worse.
That was a good team. I feel like we could have done better that year. Smart doing so great in NBA. We had Phil Forte. We had a very good team. I wish we would have done better.
I do too. I'm a little annoyed we didn't do that. That great, but like it's okay.
Oh,
I
the
guess.
good old days.
I don't know. Yeah. I just gotta bring up a little bit, right? Like gotta show us up a little bit what we were showing at. That's when Gallagher I remember being really full as a student. But of course we had like a number 6 overall draft pick on the team who came back to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
In Marcus Smart. Like this a dunk is so absurd. I cannot believe he got thrown out of the game after this because he gets double teed up. I mean, he just goes all the way back.
Insane.
You know what? Honestly, some of the craziest dunks and the best dunks of all time are really bad lob passes. Because like this was not like he had to go so far back
to go
all
grab the way
that.
back here. Douche.
That there's absolutely. I think I'd throw out my shoulder if I tried to do that when I was his age and in college. Still would have thrown out my shoulder. There's no way I would have gotten up that high to be clear. Just I was curious. There's no way really anyone ever gets up that high. You've also got a team of Mason Cox and Christian Sager and I mean Stevie Clark. Remember Stevie Clark?
Cool. Yep. Before he
had to pee outside of a window going down the strip. I mean, like
get banned.
We have some coaches who should write books. Honestly,
for sure.
Basketball coaches alone. I mean, Mike Gundy could write several books, I'm sure. But like
Gundy could write a bunch. I would love to see, because obviously he had some issues with the whole league, obviously, and then of course our basketball coaches since Travis Ford. I'm sure he's got some stories. Travis Ford probably has a lot of good stories.
Like, what is the phone call he gets about Stevie Clark in the middle?
Oh yeah,
like hey coach, we've taken one of your players to jail, or one of your players in jail. However he gets notified, I don't know. I'm assuming the cops don't call him up. And just going, oh wait, what's going on? What happened? For? Wait, the guy who's known as like a top prospect overall and can literally shoot lights out the building and will hopefully become the next coming to Phil Forte here just next season.
Mm-hmm.
That's a wild. we could have had the Splash Bros, the under 6 foot Splash Bros. We could have literally had these Phil Forte and Stevie Clark. That could have been the deal. The Stevie Clark deal, I don't know exactly. I forget exactly what happened to him, but
time to Google.
Well, he just didn't. He didn't play in a ton of games. He didn't play in a bunch of games at one point during a winning stretch there in February for us, not for us. It was like against Detroit and stuff. 2017. I don't know. I have no. This information is not put in formatting. He plays for Oakland in 2017. He went to Oakland. We lost Oakland like a couple years later. What kind of event is this? I couldn't believe it when I was reading it. Yeah, Oakland, Michigan. What? It's not Oakland College. It's Oakland. Yeah, Oakland, Michigan. Yeah, down the street from where I used to live. Yeah.
He didn't play very well. He played 20.
It's in the Horizon League.
Yeah.
I mean, he played some. There's one game where he plays 29 minutes against Valpo and scored 16. Let's see here.
I wonder if he got kicked off again.
Well, at one point he just doesn't play for like 5 games, and he comes back and plays again.
Yeah, it's
in the NIT and in the Horizon League, as well. So I'm assuming an injury. Honestly, let's assume the best here, Trey. We're all on the up and up. I mean, his career high in a game was 19 points against UC Davis. It looks like. So shout out to him. He put some buckets. And his career high for Oklahoma State was 16 against Utah Valley in a game where he played 20 minutes. So you know what, then he had some games he didn't play, and then he had another game he didn't play against Kansas State at all, and then he didn't play the rest of the season after he only lost by 6.
He only played 18.
That's the year we played. Iowa State went to triple overtime. We lost by 1. I'm going to forget about that real quick here. So Trey,
and next week our host no, I'm just kidding. And next week Stevie Clark is on the podcast. I'm kidding.
See, I've been reaching out to a lot of former Oklahoma State basketball players trying to get them on the podcast because it's one of the best interviews had so far. The Shane Illingworth interview was great, of course, but then what's the basketball interviews have been phenomenal.
A lot of insight
over the last summer. Really, like Mitchell Solomon, he just dive at the ball, man. That hit him with there was no thought at all. He was putting his body on the line during that his last Bedlam game senior year. So, anyways, Trey, as always, here, thanks so much for joining here on the episode of the CGA Tour podcast. Please follow at the CGA Tour wherever you listen to podcasts, and follow at Shadow Ready for some great gaming content here on YouTube. I may or may not have some CGA Tour sponsored wine bottles behind me if you can see where my head's going. So, anyways, more to follow here. In the next coming time. No definitive time. Anyways, Trey, thanks so much, and we'll catch you guys again soon. Peace.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters.